Yeah. Paul, you got your own YouTube channel, Toon Review. If you haven't seen it, check it out. I'll put a link in the description below. Paul, 2-0, first game of the season, dominant performance. Sum it up.
Well, I mean, it was, like you just said, it was dominating from start to finish, in my opinion. Totally deserved the 3 points. I thought we were a little lacklustre in the first half, in the final third, creating anything. Joelinton went on a fantastic run and just put it wide of the post. Would have been a fantastic goal had that gone in, but he was absolutely immense today. And I thought the starting 11, to be fair, were brilliant. The passing, the movement, so much better to watch than what we've seen, certainly from the start of last season. Different atmosphere, just a whole different feeling around the ground. It was brilliant.
Go back 12 months, first game against West Ham last season. Just what a transformation under Eddie Howe.
It's incredible, and he seems to just install this belief in all the players, you know, not just the ones we've mentioned. You know, you look at anybody really. Willock was brilliant today. Now, if he can keep that form up, you know, we don't need anyone else. You know, everybody's screaming for Paqueta or whatever. But you know what? We've got players there that have clearly got the talent, and if they can keep working hard. But the problem is with Willock is consistency. So if we don't have consistency from him, you know, I still don't really think Sean Longstaff's 100% up to it. He's good as a squad player, don't get me wrong. But I'd still like to see maybe a couple come in.
What about Elliot Anderson? If he was to come in at some point, who do you think he would replace?
Well, I think he's more of a left-sided player, isn't he? Left footer. So, I mean, you can't take Bruno or Joelinton out of that middle. You just can't. They sort of control everything. So it would be Willock. But I think he's got big plans for Elliot Anderson this season. I think he wants to integrate him slowly, as he does with Botman. You know, Botman was on the bench today, came on for a minute or so. But we trust in Eddie. We trust in what he's going to do. We trust in his beliefs. We trust in his ideas. So we can only be confident moving forward.
When we first appointed Eddie Howe, I was chuffed a bit.
Yep.
And I did a couple of videos when I analysed what sort of manager and a coach he was. And he's just a very impressive guy all round. And he's just showing it now, isn't he?
Well, I mean, I was over the moon because we spoke about it on my channel for when Steve Bruce was in charge. But get rid of him and bring Eddie Howe in. He's sitting there, you know, he's ready to go again. So I was really pleased when he came in. And from the first day you saw him on the training ground, you know, how early he was in, working with the players, grinding the players hard. You just knew. And all the stuff he's done while he hasn't been in football, going to visit different training grounds, different football teams, learning from the very best managers. It's clear he wants to be successful, and he could become a legend here if he really wants it, because it's there. You know, as long as he gets the backing from the owners, which he's clearly going to get, this could be something special.
And do you think appointing him for a long-term contract will affect potential players signing for the club, who might be a little bit put off by a manager who was only here for another couple of years? But now he's got a long-term contract, they might think, well, you know, that could swing it for another decent player who's going to come in.
Yeah, why not? I mean, you know, you look at players and what they want is stability. They want to see ambition and progression. And when you've got a new manager come in who did what he did last season and saved the club, I mean, it's like Nick Pope said in his interview the other week. You know, the England players are talking about Newcastle. When was the last time we heard that? You know, so obviously there's a lot of talk about the club. There's a lot of chatter behind the scenes of where the club's going. So for me, having Eddie long term, it's stability, and that's what a lot of players are looking for. So for me, it's an added bonus this week for him to sign that.
And what's your review on Eddie Howe yesterday, dampening down the expectations through the transfer window, kind of reining everything in and say, guys, we haven't got as much money as you think. We've got financial fair play breathing down with neck. The media are whipping up a bit of a frenzy. What was your thoughts on what he said?
Again, really sensible. You know, it's like every time he talks, you just want to listen to what he's got to say because you believe in what he says. And you know what? It's always in the press conferences. He never puts too much pressure on the players. He never bigs up the opposition like certain other managers used to do. He's very, he was praising Forest for coming up and what they've done, but then playing down, you know, not putting too much pressure on our players, saying, look, the atmosphere is going to be amazing, they're the 12th man, the fans, but we've got to go out there on the field and do a job, and that's exactly what they did today.
Paul, thank you very much. Well said.
My pleasure.
Cheers, Paul.
Cheers, Eddie.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.